I do apologize for any notification, boom sounds you're going to hear. I'm recording this on my phone, but I wanted to do this because I didn't get any content to you guys yesterday. I was out doing some shopping. I'm going to have to do some shopping again today. Long story short, I have to return some items because, well, I guess you could say some information was read up and basically suggested to me through that information. I was suggested that, returning, these items that I planned for gifts would be the best solution. But, I digress. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and talk about the finale for season 2 for Helluva and how it's leading into season 3. Because, let's be honest, season 3, first of all, we don't know how long Helluva is going to last. Because it does take a lot of money to do these animations, especially if they're fan funded and whatever. But when I look at Helluva season 3 and what it could turn out to be based on what we got in season 2's finale, it's going to be big. First of all, the most notable part of it is not only do we see Loona regularly calling, Blitz dad, more often and on a regular basis now, and being more kinder and sufficient, more kinder and loving to him, and smiling and being more open and cutesy, as some people put it. But we also saw the fact that she has a new form, and that new form is basically that of a, well, I don't know what they call it, but it's a wolf-like creature basically she's a wolf. She turns into a full Arctic wolf, but it's kind of like again, I can't think of the name, but she ends up having additional eyes on her, kind of like what Beelzebub, Queen Bee, had in her monster form. Loona has something similar now, but she's more wolf-like, more animalistic. She's still herself. I think she still talks and everything, but she's still animal, but she's more wolf-like. Chimera. I think it's, what is it? Chimera, or whatever they call them. But yeah, she's kind of like that, which is really cool. Really cool to see. We also do see Stolas kind of confront and beat the hell out of the individual that manipulated his wife, and as we see at the end of the episode, kind of get Stolas' daughter to turn against him because they reveal that Stolas has been lying about Blitzo the entire time to her dad. I mean, it's still not to her dad, but to his daughter, Octavia. So yeah, it's interesting. You got some interesting moments here, but probably the biggest one that came out of this is the fact that Millie is revealed to be pregnant. She is with child, and this is really interesting because the only person in the show that knows about her pregnancy is her sister because of a close bond, and basically no one outside of her and her sister know about it, not Moxie, her husband, or anybody else. And a lot of people are wondering, okay, what is she going to do? And a lot of people are thinking that because she found out about this, looking at a pregnancy test, looking in the mirror at her reflection, tears in her eyes, and then telling her sister she doesn't know what to do. There is a song when she's looking at herself in the mirror, playing in the background, saying, "I'm going to murder you." And people have taken that into interpretation of, oh, she's gonna abort the baby or something like that. Because obviously it seems like she's not ready to be a mother just yet, if you will, or she wasn't planning for this to happen just so soon, even though they hinted at it at the beginning of the series, or at least at the first episode of this new season. So what is going to happen here with Millie? Well, I think what's going to happen is Millie's going to go through with the pregnancy. There's no doubt that's going to happen because she won't be able to hide it from Moxie that much. She won't be able to hide it from him. So she's going to go through with it. She's going to go through with the pregnancy. But I think before Moxie finds out, either by Millie's admission or whatever, probably mostly by Millie's admission, I think the one that's going to call her out about it is going to be Loona. I think Luna's going to be the one that sees these mood swings and everything that she's going through, her throwing up at times, all these signs happening, that Loona is going to be the one that calls her out and says, "Hey, I know what's wrong with you. Why aren't you telling Moxie? He needs to know." And, Millie might be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And that's when Loona will say, probably something like, "Bitch, I know you're effing pregnant. You can't hide it from me. I'm a hellhound. I can sense these things. Or I can, sense the smell and stench or whatever." I could see Loona calling Millie out in that own Loona way by saying something like that. And then Millie basically confiding in Loona that, maybe she wasn't, it's like, yeah, she wants to be a mother, but she wasn't preparing for it to happen so soon. And she doesn't know how Moxie would take to it, because, she might bring up that Moxie is someone that, even though she's her husband and they love each other and all that, that he's still kind of not, not like at that level of maturity of taking care of a child or something. So I could see Millie having that discussion of, she wants to be a mom, but she's not sure how Moxie's going to handle being a father because of, the way he acts sometimes. So I think it's going to be intriguing to see how they deal with it. A lot of people are saying that this might be the anti, if you will, that can go up against Big Red, as I like to call him. The final boss, the be all end all. And if that's true, then I could see Big Red getting involved. I could see Big Red saying, "Hey, I sense a presence, a spirit that will be, that will be born soon here in this realm that's threatening my power." And that, that's presence, that spirit he could sense would be from Millie's upcoming child. That might be something they do. Or maybe what happens, and I don't know if anybody brought this up, maybe Millie's child is like the first step to maybe the imp organization, like, like herself and Moxie and Stolas and, Loona and Blitzo, and maybe by extension Octavia. Maybe the baby's going to be the answer of, "Hey, we're redeeming you. We're going to bring you up to the heavens. You're going to now live the more brighter life," if you know what I mean. That could be something that happens too. We don't know. We don't know. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with it. And as far as Stolas and Octavia goes, I think obviously they will make up. Octavia is going to find out the truth as to what's really going on. Find out that this individual has been manipulating her mom, but her mom's too blind to see it, and that maybe her mom's too far gone in this manipulation by this guy to kind of side with her if she brings it out, like, "Hey, this guy's been using us. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about me." That's going to be an interesting scenario when it happens. And I do see Octavia going back to, going to live with her father and making up with her father, going to live with her, and live with him, I should say, going to live with him and Blitzo and Loona. I could see that. And Moxie and Millie, I could see that. So, yeah, I could see, that image that they saw when they went to the real world, if you will, to Earth, if you will, and, looked in on a family that they were intending to take out, that's spending Christmas together. That image that, Blitz had of, that family being him and Stolas and Octavia and Loona, that image is going to become a reality next season. It is. It's going to become a reality next season. And it's going to, and obviously they're going to save it for the finale. It's going to be saved for the finale, but yeah, that moment, to me, they wouldn't show that moment. Shows don't show moments like that, even if they're like images in people's minds, one of the main characters' minds. They don't show that without basically telling you, yeah, this moment's coming. You just got to be patient. You just got to be patient. It's coming. It's coming. You just got to be patient. But it will, but it will happen. It will happen. So yeah, I think they put that moment in, where Blitz is imagining that family as him, Solus, Octavia, and Loona, as a happy family. I see that. I see that being put in there as basically them saying, you know, here's the first hint that this is going to happen. It's going to happen. You got to be patient. And again, I think Octavia is going to see through this guy's lies and what he's doing to the family, and how how much he's manipulated her mom, even to the point that even if her mom doesn't believe her because she's too far gone into the manipulation, I can see it leading to Octavia going back to her father and living with her father, living with Blitz and Loona. I can see that. And I can see even Loona having a moment with her. Like, I know Luna's going to be the one, as I said, in my opinion, that's going to reveal to Millie, hey, I know you're pregnant. You can't hide it from me. I can smell it. I can sense it. I can smell it. And, the way you're acting and all that, it's all there. It's all evident. Sorry about that. But like I said, I just get this feeling, Loona is going to be, playing an integral part in some of this, because, like I said, you don't show an image, like they did, with Blitzo kind of imagining that family, here on Earth, as him, Loona, Octavia, and Stellas. You don't do that unless you're saying, hey, we're going to make this a reality. It's just, you just got to wait another season. And I'm not going to be surprised if that occurs at the end of season 3. I will not be surprised, because everything I've mentioned, with, Octavia probably finding out the truth, and, realizing that her and her mom, mostly her mom, has been manipulated by this guy, but her mom's too far gone, because of the manipulation, to believe a word she says, that she's going to end up just being Octavia, going back with her father, living with Blitzo, living with Loona, Millie, and Moxie. And, that's going to be a great moment when it happens, but, everything else that happens in between is going to be really telling. Like I said, Loona is definitely going to have a conversation with Millie about the pregnancy and say, hey, you need to let Moxie know about this, and you need to clue him in, to the fact that he's going to be a father, and all that. And I could see her basically, calling her Millie out by, because Millie might be like, I don't know what you're talking about and everything, and Loona being Loona could be like, bitch, you're not fooling me. I'm a hellhound. I can smell it. I can see it. You're not fooling me. I know you're pregnant. Okay, she'll be like, bitch, I know you're, she'll say something like that. Like, hey, Millie, bitch, you're not fooling me. I know you're fucking pregnant. I've seen how you've been acting. I've seen you kind of, barf up a lot, and everything. That's not normal. Those are all the signs that you're pregnant. And so why are you trying to hide it from me, from, Moxie and everybody else? Why are you trying to hide it? And I can see Millie again being like, she wants to be a mom, but she's not ready to be a mom just yet. And she's not sure how, Moxie will handle it being a father the way he is. And it's going to be an interesting moment when that occurs between the two. But to me, this is why Loona is going to play a decent role here. Because not only is her relationship with Blitzo as her dad going to grow more and more, but also the fact that basically she's going to play an integral role in calling Millie out about knowing about the pregnancy outside of Millie's sister knowing. And then she's going to basically, I think she's also going to play a role in, helping Octavia realize, look, I had my issues with my dad and everything. Heck, there were times I didn't want to be associated with him because, he adopted me, like the last hour before I turned 18 and da da da. But, he's proven over time, that he is always going to be there for me. And when he nearly, when he put his life on the line, you know, for me and everybody else, and then said, hey, take care of Loona, that's, when I realized that, yeah, he does care for me. He does love me. He might do some stupid shit, and act like an idiot, act like an idiotic asshole sometimes. But I know he loves me. That everything he does, for me is out of love. And that's how your father is. That's how your father is. He may have lied to you about his relationship with my father, but he did it out of love because he wanted to protect you. So I could see him having that kind of a conversation with Octavia, and even reminding her of the conversation they had the first time they met. So I could see that. I can see that all occurring and everything in season 3. So to me, Luna's going to play a major part in all of this, and I could see her also playing a major part because of her Hellhound, because of her new form. Her new form being one that, hey, she might be told maybe by Beelzebub, Queen Bee, hey, make sure you don't stay in that form too long when you change into it, because if you do, you'll lose yourself to it. That could be something they throw in there, because a lot of shows would do something like that. A lot of shows would do something like that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they, come up with. What Vivia will come up with. Fizzy Pop will come up with for season 3. But yeah, I just think season 3 is going to be big. It's going to have a lot going on for it. Loona, to me, is going to play a major part. Like I said, she's going to be the only one. She'll be the next one to, well, but she'll be the first one, out of, the imp family, if you will, to basically call Millie out on her pregnancy and knowing all what's going on and everything, and even confront her about, why don't you tell, Moxie about it, and that. I could see her doing that. That'd be typical Loona, especially if she calls her bitch. I could see that, saying, bitch, I know you're fucking pregnant. You're not fooling me. So why, you're not going to hide it from me. So why are you hiding it from your husband? And all that. I could see that. I could see Big Red, if you will, the be all end all of the underworld there, basically feeling threatened by the potential that Millie's baby could be the anti, in other words, the key, to take certain, residents of the underworld, if you will, hell, to heaven and redeem them. I could see that. I could see Loona talking, having a conversation with Octavia, making her realize, hey, look, my dad, there are times I didn't want to associate with my dad. I didn't want him around me and everything. But in the end, I do realize, especially when he was willing to put his life on the line for me, and he wanted to make sure that even when he's gone, that I'm taken care of. That I realized that everything he's been doing, stupid or not, idiotic or not, has been for me. It's been, out of love. So I can see her having that kind of a conversation that helps Octavia turn her mindset around, and even, basically, come to the realization that this guy that her mom's with has been manipulating them for the entire time, mostly her mom, but that her mom's now too far gone because of the manipulation, that she's going to pretty much be on her own, or at least until she reunites with her dad and moves in with him and Blitzo and Loona. So I can see Loona playing a part there. I can see Luna's new form being explored more, especially with the potential that, hey, she might get a warning if you go into this form and stay in this form too long, you could lose yourself to it. I could see that. Excuse me there. I can see a lot going on here. And to me, season 3 is going to basically be, I wouldn't say the be-all, end-all, but it's definitely going to set up for potentially a 4th season, if not maybe, a movie, down the line. Because, you never say never. All right? You never say never. when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I think truly we will get a movie or some kind of like hour long or hour and a half long presentation here on YouTube of Helluva Boss, and that could serve as the major finale if it ever comes to an end. Again, that's all up to Vizzy Pop and what her team does, because again, animation, especially fan funded and fan supported, it takes time. It takes time and everything to make a reality. But I can definitely see, when season 3 happens, a lot's going to go down, a lot's going to happen. Some of the things I've mentioned, I believe, is going to go down and happen. And I think that's going to lead into a major finale, a major, chapter turn, if you will, in the franchise as, potentially, season 4 goes, or maybe even, like I said, doing a movie like finale or conclusion to this whole story arc before they go into like the next part, the next chapter or next phase of Hell of a Boss. But we'll see. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on all of this. Let me know if you agree with anything I've had to say here. Comment down below. Live chat during the premiere if you want to. Like the video, ring the bell for notification. Subscribe to the channel. Click on the link in the description. Mention to my Teespring store at the bottom. Link to my Teespring store is at the bottom in the description. Also, check out the links as well to where you can find my content elsewhere here on the internet, as well as check me out at deviantart.com at BVW1979. But guys, give me your thoughts. Do you agree with anything I've had to say here? What do you think is going to happen? And all that. Going into season 3, and how do you think that's? How do you think? What we see in season 3 is going to percolate going into season 4, if not maybe a big movie like conclusion to this phase, to this chapter that would lead us into the next phase chapter of Hell of a Boss. And do you think that scene that Blitzo fantasized of that human family being him and Loona and Octavia and Stolas, do you think that was put there on purpose by Vizzy Pop as a way of saying, hey, this moment's going to be, a reality, but you just got to wait another season? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Do you think think it was put there on purpose? Let me know. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. God bless. Take care.